Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're doing something wild. We're playing fairies and familiars. That's right, this is Spellstutter Sprite time. The Spellstutter Sprite is a 2-mana flying fairy wizard that counters a creature when it enters the battlefield equal or less than the number of fairies that you currently control. So we get a couple of fairies in play with Fairy Seer, and then Spellstutter Sprite can counter a 2-drop. And then if we have 3 fairies, it can hit a 3-drop, etc., etc. But the really mean thing is that you can Ghostly Flicker, Spellstutter Sprite, and Archaeomancer to have a basically counterspell always on hand. For this reason, we're not playing any prohibits or counterspell in the main deck, and we're going to be trying to play more of like an 8 cantrip style with 4 Preordain and 4 Fairy Seer. And then I'm making a little bit of space in the main deck by going down to just 3 Faithfuls, with 1 Dawnbringer Cleric as my 4th Faithful that also deals with enchantments. So hopefully that will be good enough. Playing 4 Flicker effects with 2 Ephemerate and 2 Ghostly Flicker because I have all of these things to flicker. And then I'm also playing 4 Meeting of Minds, which is Convoke, draw 2 cards. And now this Meeting of Minds synergizes really well with the Fairy Seers and Spellstutter Sprites because we're just putting a lot more creatures in play. We have 23 creatures, and if I look at I go to my Team ADA list, I'm playing 16, so that's making it very difficult. And this deck is based off of Walker 735's Fairy Familiars, which is playing things like Seagate Oracle, Destroy Evil, Merchant Scroll. But I tried this out and I wasn't really a fan of the higher casting cost thing, so I'm going to try to make it a little bit more low to the ground. I also am not really a fan of Fairy Seer not actually drawing a card, so that's why we're playing Preordain as well. But once you get these in play, you're just going to be spamming Meeting of Minds and Mole Drifters and trying to draw a million cards. In the sideboard here, it's pretty much the normal sideboard for my familiar stacks with 6 Anti-Affinity, 2 Revoke Existence, 2 Last Breaths, 4 Hydro, 2 Negate, and 1 Exclude. Exclude is really for the initiative matchup, so we're just going to be excluding our opponent's big old creatures. Yeah, that's pretty much the list, and this is brought to you by Ritual Hippie, who is a Patreon subscriber and is on the deck donation tier. So every month he's getting one sweet list for me to play and record a video of. If you're interested in doing that, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/calicais. If you enjoyed this, hit me up with a like and subscribe. It's definitely silly, so hopefully we'll be able to get to do some cool things. And we'll see you in the matches. Alright, we're in round 1. We have nothing going on with our hand though, so it's going to be a mulligan. Having a turn 2 familiar is great, but we just have a bunch of ephemerates. Mulligan. Now we have Spellstutter Sprite, but no blue mana. Okay. We finally have a hand we can keep. We're going to get rid of Cleric and Spellstutter Sprite, I think. I guess that has to be the way. We'll see what they're up to. Not a great mulligan for us though, but we have to keep. Oh, look at that, Tron. So we know we can play the familiar, and that will be okay. Land map. I wonder what it's going to be. Grab our island and pass the turn. They don't have turn 2 Tron. They're going to Ancient Stirrings. So here we're going to find out maybe what they're up to. Let's see if it's Big Guy Tron. Just finds another map. They can play the map now. That means turn 4 Tron is guaranteed. We're just going to play out the familiar ASAP. So I'm going to untap, crack a map, get a land, play the land, and then what? Nothing? We'll see. Sphere. So it could be the big creature Tron. We're going to cycle and play an island, and then pass a turn. So now we can Spellstutter Sprite a 1-drop plus cast Meeting of Minds, which is pretty sick. Cracks the map. Hopefully nothing scary happens. 5 mana. Okay. It's a fancy self-assembler. I really like this art here. Sweet. Okay, so cast medium mines. I think I preordain. This doesn't really matter. Preordain will draw me 2 cards. If I preordain here and I don't find an untapped land, it's going to look at the top 3 cards. If I Drifter Ephemerate, it's going to look at the top 4 cards. Let's Drifter Ephemerate. Sweet. We found the islands. Go up to 1,000,000 cards in hand. Back down to 7. Pass the turn. And now we can start playing Archaeomancer for Ephemerate, and then Ephemerate for Meeting the Minds or whatever to draw cards and block. We're trying to get out to the point where we can start snapping their giant things and not losing. But we still don't have anything going on, and Spellstutter Sprite is just here for a 1-drop. They're going to cast a Breath Weapon. Well, that's certainly stinky. Gets in for 4. So they're probably on 4 Breath Weapons. Breath Weapon is going to be pretty good against my fairies, but we can maybe get past it. Crusher. So we're going to cycle. Grab an island. Now we have to find a snap. We're gonna if that Breath Weapon really hosed me for sure. Ephemerates. Find another Ephemerate. Preordain. No snap. Draw a card. Land. Let's Drifter Ephemerate, looking for a snap. No snap. Ephemerate the Drifter. Still no snap. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the Chancery and the Ash Barrens. We're going to scry 1. So seeing 24 cards and no snap plus bottoming 2 is pretty bad. But luckily we can just eat this sphere here. And then we can sacrifice Spellstutter Sprite and Island. No blocks. We take 12, go to 1,000,000 damage. We can play Mancer, Familiar into Mancer, get back Meeting the Minds, cast Meeting the Minds. They have another Breath Weapon. Darn. They're playing a bunch of mana. Self-assembler hits the table. So they'll be able to get another self-assembler. Okay. They didn't use their red mana. So we're pretty hosed. Hey look, we have Ephemerate rebounding. I forgot that was on the table. That's pretty nice. So we're going to draw 1,000,000 cards. Find the snap. Sunscape Familiar. So do we need the Chancery in play? If I play the Chancery right now, I'll have 1, 2, 3 blue mana after snap. If I play this right now, I'll have 4 blue mana. So let's go with the one that has lots of mana. Snap this. We're going to get back Ephemerate. Ephemerate for snap. Snap again. Question is, can I find a flicker? If I can't, I have to chump with one of my creatures. Or I can Archaeomancer for Meeting the Minds right now. I think I'm going to preordain. Fairy Seer. And a Meeting Minds. Top. Cast a Meeting Minds off of Archaeomancer and Familiar. Now I have a flash blocker. Alright, this seems fine. So, if they Breath Weapon pre-combat, my Mole Drifter dies and my Archaeomancer dies. Oh, I should have sprited that. Manic Star. I'll sprite it now. They're going to Grotto. Alright, we'll sprite your star. We know they have Crusher and Self-Assembler in hand, so there's just one unknown, I think. That got countered, so it seems like they don't have Breath Weapon right now. I'm going to block with a Mole Drifter. Go to 1. They play a self-assembler. All we need is a flicker and then it's GG. Power plant worker. So this is the original list from Vanilla James. They're going wide. Alright, ephemerate the Archaeomancer. And get back ephemerate. So now we can play this out. Chancery. Pick up the island. Snap this one. One tap. Play Mancer for snap. Snap the other one. Play Archaeomancer for ephemerate. Ephemerate for snap. Snap the other one. We're doing things. They're just gonna concede. Okay, so now I was gonna play Fairy Seer and look at the top two. And then I was going to ephemerate for a Meeting of Minds and draw. We're gonna block and ephemerate later for Meeting of Minds and then draw. Okay, we definitely want to exclude. There's a potential for wanting the revoke existences for their artifact creatures. I think we need our package here. Dawnbringer Cleric doesn't seem very good. They have red spells, so Hydroblast could be good, but Negate would also be good, right? Is Negate better than Hydroblast? The only thing I can think to do here is exclude. Our Fairy Seer Sprite package is not good against our big creatures, but we also don't really have anything to do. We're just looking to get to the snap block. So we want to make sure that our stuff stays on the table. I think it's fine. We definitely need some number of faithfuls. Man, no lands. Okay, we're gonna mulligan. Okay, put back an island, and then we're going for turn 2 familiar. Even though I have to fetch a plains. Opponent leads on relic. Fine with me. We're gonna play a familiar on turn 2. And they're gonna eat my broker's hideout. So if you're trying to save time, what you do is I have the no possible play yield all on, so it's gonna auto yield to the relic at that point, so I'm just spam clicking the thing in the graveyard because I know they're gonna wow, use the relic. This is pretty nice because wow, I'm gonna need some water here. Okay, so we can play the turn 2 familiar, then play turn 3 familiar plus bounce land, so it doesn't really eat up our turn. If we find a Spellstutter Sprite though, it's maybe useful to play out the Chancery and not play the familiar because Spellstutter Sprite can counter. We did not, so we're just gonna do the thing. Spellstutter Sprite can counter a map though. And they scryed bottom with the Crystal Grotto. 8 mana. Here comes a darn Crusher. Crush-a-do. Okay, so we can evoke a Drifter. Draw 2. Cast Meeting Minds. Draw 2. We can snap this Crusher. Oh man, this is so sick. That's why Meeting of Minds is awesome. Yep, sure. Okay, Crusher down. Ephemerate the Muldrifter. Eat the snap. I guess I should have brought in Dust maybe. A couple of those for the relics and the artifact creatures. That probably would have been a good plan. Okay, another Meeting of Minds. Alright, so let's play. We can play Familiar. I think I'm just going to cast a Muldrifter. And then play Chancery picking up the island. Then I'm going to cast a Meeting of Minds. So this is going to give me a ton of things in the graveyard. Discard, discard. And I kind of want to discard the Familiar. We have a lot of lands though. Doink. So now we have 4 cards in the graveyard. Opponent is going to Relic and then play a big Crusher again, but if we draw into another snap, we can just bounce their Crusher and exclude it. Crusher eats a land. They're gonna eat a land again. Doink. Yep. We have 4 power in the air right now, but only 2 can attack at the moment. We ephemerate. Doink. Draw some cards. Alright, we did not find a way. Go Faithful. Faithful. Preordain. You just put a Spellstutter Sprite on the table for it to get eaten. A Fairy Seer. So let's bottom the. I guess we can top the Faithful for another thing to get eaten. Put the Fairy Seer on top. Play the Fairy Seer. We're going to scry. So I will bottom both of these. Yeah. And then pass the turn and swing. I really need to get to 3 fairies, so I think even though the Crusher is ginormous, I'm gonna sacrifice my Faithfuls. Then I'll end step a Spellstutter Sprite maybe. Well, I could also sacrifice a Muldrifter. I'll just sacrifice the Faithfuls. It's fine. Okay, I don't know what they were planning to do, but they have hit me for 8 now. 6 mana, 8 mana, another Crusher. A Maelstrom Colossus. Okay, so they're going to start cascading. We're going to yield to that. Find a star. I don't care about the star. I'm going to exclude the Colossus. Draw a card. An island. Alrighty. Let's preordain first. Looking for snap. Find an Archaeomancer. So this will cause them to crack their relic. It's not really what we want right now. Play Familiar. Play land. Play a Muldrifter. Play another Fairy Seer. Okay, I'll top. I'm going to bottom this Seer and top the Medium Mines and attack. Take 5. So this turn I'm going to sacrifice a Familiar and an Island. 6. Okay, opponent's getting in. They annihilate. Bam, bam. We really are looking to untap and not get Breath Weaponed here. If we get Breath Weaponed, we're pretty hosed. They're playing pretty slowly, but it's okay. What did they do? They played a star? Crack for green. Okay. 3 mana. Plays a map. I guess they're going to grab a bog. It's a Bojuka Bog. Plays Bojuka Bog. Okay. Have some mana. For red, they're looking for that Breath Weapon. Hopefully they whiff. Plays a star, cracks it. They're going to have to crack this now for green, looking for the Breath Weapon. They're just cracking it directly for red. Interesting. What if they draw Stirrings? Seems like a mistake. There's a star. They can crack it for green, red again. Can opponent find a Breath Weapon? Plays a sphere. They have 2 more draws to find it. Red. Didn't find it. So I'm trying to look. We have 7, 8 power in the air. So I think I'm going to attack with the 4. Let's cycle this. For an island. And the island. There's Medium Mines off of Familiar and Fairy Seer. Play a Fairy Seer. We have a bunch of attackers in the air. Find a snap. So I guess that's good. Bottom. Top the snap. And we will attack with everything. So at this point we have 3 counters. Nothing matters. They can put us to 1 and it's fine. Ash Barrens. Get rid of medium mines. So I guess on the attack we'll just get rid of the 2 of the Fairy Seers that are tapped. Then we just chill. It's nice to have a clock, but still a long game. Maybe this is only game 2. We didn't lose game 2. If they have a flyer or something, we'll be hosed. So they're going to cascade again into a chromatic sphere. So I'm going to Spellstutter Sprite the sphere. Maelstrom Colossus resolves. They have 5 mana available. 2 cards in hand. I think they are dead. Cracks for red, looking for that breath weapon. We have the answers. They crack the relic, trying to draw a breath weapon. They got a little bit unlucky, but we also saw the same, like we didn't have a 4 of. They didn't find their 4 of breath weapon, but we didn't find our 4 of snap in the top 24 cards. We were at 36, before we found it too. So weirdly, we both got the same lucky. See you in round 2. All right, we're on the play. Round 2 versus Tyrex, who is a Fae player, so it's going to be tough. Mulligan. All right, we're keeping. We're going to get rid of Flicker and Snap. So we're going to go turn 2 Familiar and pass the turn. But I don't know if it's going to be good enough. And they're on land destruction, so that's a bummer for me. I don't really have anything for land destruction, so this may be a fast match. Lay out our Familiar. Pass the turn. Pass again. We can evoke the Muldrifter and pray for a snap. Or pray for a Ephemerate. Probably more likely to draw a snap. They have 3 mana. Just didn't even blow up my land. Evoke. Trying to draw into some stuff. Looking for a snap. No snap. Okay. Preordain. We find a Medium Mines, which is good. Chancery we're going to get rid of. We already have an untapped land. So they have 4 mana here. Don't know what that means that they're going to do. Just slam the initiative. Okay. I am the initiative. I am strong. Boo. Boo initiative. Alright, we have Medium Mines, Muldrifter. We have to cast a Muldrifter and pass. It's the turn. We almost have enough to go for a free Medium Mines, but not right now. I am a giant creature. Attack! Good for you. Well, good for you. Okay, they get in for 7, but it's to 13. Let's see if they have another one. Llanowar Visionary. That's not the initiative. Okay, I'm gonna kill my Muldrifter. What? What a mean person. With Fairy Seer. Look for some Snapadoos. Dawnbringer Cleric. Bottom. Preordain. Man. We're just going to die to this stupid 7/7, 7/5. Draw some cards. Really? I didn't do anything. Like, they didn't do anything, I didn't do anything, but we just died to the initiative. Cool. Cool. Really fun. Okay. Get rid of this. Maybe one Arcanomancer can go away. Don't have much of a game plan here. My game plan is lose to the initiative immediately, so we are working out exactly as planned. They mulligan to 6. We're going to go turn 2 Faithful into Preordain. Go to 21. They can't kill our land on turn 1, so we will have an island in play. It's weird how we just can't find snaps and just keep mulliganing to bajillion. Keeping 7. This is the first time we've kept 7 this league. Okay, Faithful, Preordain. We find a Snap and a Barons, so I'll keep the Barons only on that. They play a land. We play a land. Play Preordain. Looking for a negate now. We find a Spellstutter Sprite and a Faithful. So I'm going to bottom keep the Spellstutter Sprite and pass the turn. This can get any one drop, like a Utopia Sprawl or a Wild Growth. They're going to go for a Utopia Sprawl, and we have a Spellstutter Sprite. Taste it. Taste it. That's what I say. Yes! Taste it. Okay. That must feel nice. It did. Nice, easy, quick match. So, we're gonna brokers for island, cycle for an island. Yay! We got lucky. They mulliganed to 4. We move it on. We're in round 3. We defeated the Ponza Menace. Hopefully that will cause players to not play Ponza. We have a pretty decent hand, but also very slow. We're against a Hamster Master that may be hamstring, but we don't have Minx and Boo or whatever in Pauper, so we'll see what happens. My assumption is that we're playing against Mono Red. If you don't know what they're on, they're probably on turn 1 Swiftspear. We got to play against some cool matchups so far. Well, no, we didn't. Round 1 was cool. Round 2 was like... They didn't play a single land destruction spell the entire time. Did you notice? Pretty weird. Land, pass. So we have free draw. We have... if this is the initiative deck, it's going to be an issue. They're going to wildfire my turn 2 Chancery, and I'm going to be very sad. Okay, it's red-white. They wildfire their own land, so that's very good for me because they are not necessarily going to have a second wildfire in hand. But it is the wildfire initiative deck, which is not as good. Okay, Chancery pass. We're going to pick up the island, and we have to discard a card, so I'm going to discard the Ephemerate. We could like go turn, could have held it and put bottom the, or discard the Cleric maybe, but then we've gone land, snap, Drifter Ephemerate, but then they could kill the Drifter. They play a Boros Garrison, so our opponent is likely going to slam the initiative next turn. What we're going to do is play the Dawnbringer Cleric and gain some life. Cleric, gain 2 life. Lay out an island. Now, next turn, if they slam the initiative, we can go Chancery, snap your creature, attack, grab the initiative, play the Muldrifter. So we're hoping that they play a Goliath Paladin here. Play an Ardent Elementalist for the Cleansing Wildfire, which is bad news. Bad news. Okay. So we can still do our plan. I'm gonna attack. You know what I'm not a fan of is initiative as well as cleansing wildfire strategies. Man, why am I such a complainer? Okay, let's play. I snap your creature, they wildfire, then they replay it. If I snap my cleric, I might be able to get their wildfire at some point. I'm gonna snap this cleric. That gives me a mini ritual, so it's +1 mana. Gets me the cleric back in hand. I get to cast my Muldrifter, get an attacker, pass the turn. We're going to go back down to 3 mana, which is sucky. But if they wildfire my plan is that they wildfire me and then I just try to cleric away their wildfire. Yeah. Oops. Oh no, I've made a terrible mistake and I pressed the wrong button. Oh no. What a bummer. That sucks. I pressed no. Oh god. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Sometimes you misclick. Sometimes you misclick really hard. If they have Ephemerate, we scoop. We scoop. I'm ready. Hands on the button. Okay. Congratulations. You've assembled the goodness. I believe that you are powerful mage. We want a bunch of Hydroblasts. Exclude is pretty decent. We want our flyers. Dormir Cleric. Get rid of one Faithful. One Fairy Seer. Maybe we lean more on the Ephemerate plan. We could get rid of trim a Preordain. Let's trim a Snap. We don't really want to snap their creatures. Trim an Ephemerate. I'm just trimming all over the board and I don't feel good about it. Yes. I don't know what to do, so I'm just doing stuff. Play a land. People love Wildfire. It's very, very beloved. I wonder if Wildfire or Swift Spear is more beloved. That's my real concern. Please, let me keep my bridges. Play... Okay. We're just gonna hope they don't have Wildfire, and if this turn, if they do, we're gonna press yes on searching. We don't have the turn 2 Wildfire, so this could be pretty sweet for us, because we're gonna go land Familiar, and then they're gonna bolt it, and we're gonna sprite the bolt. I was just tired and pressed the wrong button. Got him! Now we have Sprite for Wildfire. They have to kill my Spellstutter Sprite here. They're going to play an Inspiring Overseer. Alright. And we are going to Drifter Ephemerate. Yeah! It's happening. Ephemerate this. Okay. So we have Snap, we have Medium Minds. We can snap this, then do nothing, right? Let's cast Medium Minds. Draw. I'll leave it like this, I guess. You can snap this, then play. Okay, we're just gonna do a bunch of stuff. Snap this. Untap. Play Faithful. Play Preordain. Bottom the Plains. And top the Familiar. Would you like to replay your 2-1? Spellstutter Sprite. Can we sprite the journey? Here they can bolt my other Spellstutter Sprite and fizzle it. They Pyroblast the Spellstutter Sprite. Okay. So they're gonna probably journey my Familiar. Okay, they journey the Mole Drifter, which is weird. Where the Spellstutter? Oh, they just don't want the Ephemerate to resolve. Okay. Help this out. Make it easier for me. We will just Ephemerate the Faithful then. Familiar. We can play Archaeomancer for Snap. They had Pyro in hand before. I'd rather try to get the... So we could also evoke a Mole Drifter. See if they Pyroblast that. And then we can Archaeomancer for Medium Minds. They're not going to Pyroblast it. We might not have Pyroblast in hand. We have another Ephemerate. Okay, so I'm going to Mancer now. Try to get back the Medium Minds. Cast it. Draw some cards. Swing out. Okay, so we still have the Cleric in the deck, I think. Somewhere. Now we do want a Plains, probably. They're going to Dawnbringer Cleric my Ephemerate. Cool. We have 2 mana. Okay, we're going to cast a Fairy Seer, which adds mana for our Medium Minds. It also gets to Scry ahead of time. Exclude and Hydroblast. We want both of those. Top. Cast Medium Minds. We're going to draw. So I can Ephemerate. Maybe I should just hold a bunch of stuff. Yeah, let's just play out the hideout and grab, I guess, a plains here. And I'm going to attack them for 1. Bam. You've been attacked. Now I have Ephemerate, Hydro, Exclude. Exclude only costs 1 mana too at this point, which is awesome. They're going to Inspiring Overseer, which we are going to counter. Yep. Draw a card. I draw Medium Mines. Sick. They have an Ephemerate, maybe. Let's cast Medium Mines. We're looking for a Spellstutter Sprite. Guess another Medium Mines. Looking for a Spellstutter Sprite still. Just Hydroblasts. Okay, fair enough. Draw some cards. We have the Flicker. Okay, so now we can Drifter Ephemerate. Ephemerate the Drifter. We're so far ahead now. We have a bajillion cards in hand. Love it. All of our Hydroblasts. Now, what are the good cards? Let's play out a Familiar. Play an Island. And swing. That's the turn. We're going to get rid of the things that are bad in the face of Wildfire, I guess. Chancery and Barrens. Alright. So, we need to be able to get fighting through this Cleric plus Ephemerate issue. Opponent. Cleansing Wildfire. Hydroblast. Okay. They cannot deal with a Hydroblast. It's too strong. We have Ephemerate for the Arcane Answer. So if they have an Ephemerate as well, it's fine because we can beat it. Looks like they simply don't. No, they're gonna have to have it, right? So we wait for it. We wait for it. They have an Ephemerate. So I'm going to Flicker here to counter the Ephemerate with the Spellstutter Sprite. And they scoop, as is custom. Okay. Do I want to do anything else? So maybe I could consider not playing the Snap and play more Preordain. Could also maybe cut the Ephemerate, but I think this is probably better. Bunch of Hydroblasts and Exclude. A couple of Snaps. Maybe Last Breath is good, but I don't know. We only need a few. We only need 1 Snap to Snap combo them. Alright, so they're on the play. We're going to play out our land for Hydroblast so that we can get their turn 2 Wildfire. And then play Broker's Hideout for an island. Interesting. They lean on a non-red bridge. Play an island, pass the turn. We're going to Broker's Hideout for a plains. Here's the Wildfire. No, it's a Spirit Companion. Okay. Let's cycle this, grabbing a plains in case we draw a Faithful. We do. So I'll play the Faithful out. That does put me off of Exclude. But this turn I can play Broker's Hideout. Hashtag block. Music block. They could try to go for the Bolt. Just Hydroblast the Bolt. So we have our blocker here for their Spirited Companion. Can't Wildfire this turn. Looks like they're going to Journey to Nowhere. The Dawnbringer Cleric, my Hydroblast. This is what I say. You got it, boss. Okay, play an island. We have Exclude or Medium Mines. Counter your creature. Draw a card. Draw an island. I like that. They have 2 cards in hand. They get in. We're going to block again. And they once again have a Bolt. No Bolt. Okay, we play the Broker's Hideout, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we just play the Broker's Hideout. And pass the turn. Grabbing an island. No attacks. We would be in a bad spot if they played the initiative here, though. Excluding their creature early was maybe risky. They play an Inspiring Overseer. Let's just cast the Medium Mines before they draw a Pyro. Yoink. It's okay to take the 2 damage. Find a Snap. Now we're looking for our own good creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have the initiative ready. No, please, no. No. Preordain. Forgot to yield to the Faithful trigger. Find a Ephemerate, which isn't good right now. Sunscape Familiar is. Play that. So we can Medium Mines. We can hold Snap. We play the Chancery, but that doesn't seem that good yet. I didn't want to have to get it wildfired. I don't have any more. Well, what if I just cast Medium Mines now? Take some damage. See what I draw. Nothing. That's bad. That's very bad. Oh boy. Initiative here would be real bad. They play Inspiring Overseer. So no initiative. We've drawn exactly zilch. They destroy evil my guy. Okay, bounce it. Pass the turn. Forgot to untap my lands. Man, this is just... I'm doing all sorts of nonsense. Let's play out on the island and pass. Our second plains is in hand, so wildfire is a real issue. 3 cards in hand. They wildfire their land. That's why I don't play out my bounce. No bounce lands. We have a lot of cards in hand, but nothing to do. They have a few cards in hand and lots of stuff to do. Maybe they're just sitting on basics in hand as well. But they didn't play a land this turn. They get in for 4. Okay. Sure. We want to cycle for an island. What do we got in our deck? We have 4 Drifter, 2 more Medium Mines. Any of this, Drifter, Medium Mines would be good. Dawnbringer Cleric would be okay. Spellstutter Sprite would be okay. Preordain would be okay. Don't really want the Spellstutter Sprite right now. I want something to do. Island. Pass the turn. I think I need to hold the Hydroblast for a Elementalist. So I'm just gonna hang, not do anything. Wow, they have the Elementalist. I have the Hydro. Do you have the Pyro? If they have Pyro, we're deadzo. Get him. We got him. Big usefulness for me. They're gonna Dawnbringer Cleric, getting rid of my Hydroblast again. I feel like Exclude would be the better target. They get rid of a Snap. Attacks with everything for ease. We block. Take 4 and go to 17. Oh my goodness. Broker's Hideout. Pass the turn. Getting an island. Nothing. We are thinning our deck. Okay, so now they have the Monarchy, which stinks. Here they should attack with everything, and they do. We block. Take 5. Looking for a Drifter. Come on, Drifterino. Archaeomancer. Play that out. Grab the Medium Mines. Cast Medium Mines. Raw. Dawnbringer Cleric. You can snap. I guess now I have to play the Chancery. Pick this up. Snap the Archaeomancer. It's gonna resolve. I think. Yay. Play Archaeomancer. We're gonna grab the Medium Mines again. Cast Medium Mines. Let's go Dawnbringer Cleric. Exile your Wildfire. Play Medium Mines. Draw some cards. Okay, we have a Spellstutter Sprite. So now we're looking for a Flicker. Ephemerate would be good. They're going to attack for 1,000,000. They might simply attack with everything. We can end step the Spellstutter Sprite and get in maybe, but we don't have a snap. So maybe not. They attack with a lot. The only way for us to get in would be to have an Ephemerate. If we have Ephemerate, we can have other better things to get. We draw a card. We're gonna preordain. Yeah, let's do it. Mancer, bottom, top the Mancer, lay out a familiar. Okay, Mancer. I want to grab the Meeting of Minds. See, it looks like they might have a Pyro here. Looks like, I guess, no. They could also have an Ephemerate with a Cleric. Grab the Meeting of Minds. We have the Spellstutter Sprite for an Ephemerate, but they don't have it. Draw. Looking for a Flicker. And a Fairy Seer. Let's play that and see what's on top. Now we can counter a 2-drop, which is good. Flicker. Bottom. Top the Flicker. Play this. Play Archaeomancer. Grab the Meeting of Minds, and then I think it's GG. Or soon enough. They Ephemerate, we Spellstutter. So they'd have to have a Pyro now. They can. Okay, Electric Ring. Okay. Yeah, I didn't play around that, but you know, that's one of the things. They got me good. Alright, bummer for me. So they're going to resolve their Ephemerate. I'm just going to F6. Sad. Sad F6 noises. We did not GG them. What are they going to get rid of? My snap? Okay. Shed a tear. We're going down. They attack for 1,000,000. We have no blocks, so we go to 11. And now we're going to Mortuary Mire, getting back the Spellstutter Sprite. See if that is going to resolve. We're going to go Ephemerate again. We're going to Flicker. Pyro would wreck me. Bolt would not wreck me. They Pyroblast my creature. Okay, so they made a mistake here. Definitely made a mistake. They might have a Bolt as well. Okay, I mean, yep. Pass the turn. Congratulations. So they should have just pyroed the Ghostly Flicker. That was like a big mistake. And now they can Ephemerate. So, man, we just drew so dead. And they have all their nuts. The nuts. We drew the nuts. We got the just chilling behind the Palace Sentinels, doing their thing. Gets rid of my Flicker. Still have one Flicker left. Blah, blah, blah. Wait on the opponent. 2 Pyros are down. They get to draw a card. Draw another card with the Monarchy. It's just emblem nonsense over here. Gets in for 6, puts us to 6. So next turn they have 8, which means we have to draw a Muldrifter. We've gone through 35 cards with no Muldrifter. We've also preordained to bottom things, but I guess we've hit stuff with the Broker's Hideouts and stuff. They Dawnbringer Cleric, getting rid of my Archaeomancer, most likely. So I need to get rid of Meeting of Minds. Right, sure. We draw nothing. Okay, so we can Ephemerate the Archaeomancer to get back a Preordain. See if they have a Bolt. I can concede to a Bolt. They don't have it. Preordain. Cast Preordain. Go to 7. Looking for Muldrifter. Drifter. Okay, that's the way. Cast a Drifter. That's 1. Draw some cards. Okay. Cast a second Muldrifter. That's 2. Draw some more cards. We're at 9. We can afford to not block now. We have Hydroblast. We have Meeting of Minds. So I'm going to cast Meeting of Minds. And with these ones. Hydroblast is pretty decent. We have another Muldrifter. think the answer is to play the Mulldrifter. Cast. It was a disappointing news where all my Mulldrifters were in a flock together. And we draw Faithful and an Ephemerate. We have to hang out and do nothing. We're just going to hold this Hydroblast up. Our opponent's going to draw and then draw again for the Monarchy. At some point, we're going to find our Flicker, and then we can win. Because we'll just attack, get back our creatures, and attack again. Journey to Nowhere on the Archaeomancer. So, they should hit the Dawnbringer Cleric, because if they hit the Dawnbringer Cleric, I have no way to bounce it to get rid of the Journey, but they don't know that. I could have brought in some Revoke Existences or something. Okay. They're going to decline to attack because they want to maintain their Monarchy. And I can actually just let them die to the Monarchy over a long period of time. Maybe that's what the best plan is. Okay. Ephemerate on the Cleric. Destroy target enchantment. Yep, we get their thing back. Get back Ephemerate. Get a Pyroblast. They Pyroblast my dude. I'm going to Ephemerate it. Get back Exclude, I guess. Draw my Ephemerate. Or pick up my Ephemerate, not draw it. We have a Spellstutter Sprite. Play land and a Faithful. I'm going to play the Chancery and pick up the Mortuary Mire. And pass, I guess. So this is going to trade for their creature. One down. Eventually we'll find our Faemiliars and we can attack. I'm going to put down this Ash Barrens. I'm a little bit nervous that they're going to have a Relic, but I can counter the Relic with a Spellstutter Sprite. 4 mana. Play Goliath Paladin that I will exclude. That's going to be a no for me, dog. No Goliath Paladins are allowed. Yep, you get to draw some cards. Draw? I guess I could have Ephemerated. That was a mistake then, huh? Should have Ephemerated for Preordain or something. Archaeomancer. Just feel so alive, so ahead. Draw. Fairy Seer. We're gonna scry. There's the Flicker. Bottom, pop the Flicker. Play the Mortuary Mire. Get back the Archaeomancer. Yep. And then we just Preordain into the Archaeomancer. Top the Archaeomancer. Okay, GG. Oops. Thanks. They gave me the GGs. I gave them the lowercase GGs, but they had uppercase. I don't know if that means anything. And they scooped it up, so we're on to round 4. Hamster Master and I had a friendly chat, talked about the Pyro situation and what happened there, so wish them all the best in their upcoming matches and leagues. And now on to round 4. We're here in round 4 versus Coco 098. Coco. We have no mana essentially, so we mulligan. And we do it again. Opponent also mulligan to 6. They are going to keep 6. We mulligan. Horrible hands, but we have something we can keep. Get rid of the Dawnbringer Cleric. And snap. So we're relying heavily on this Preordain. We don't have any white mana. Got a lot of problems here, but going to 4 seems very unfun. And we'll see what our opponent is on. Okay, opponent is on land destruction. Cool, cool, cool. You know, I wonder if the initiative weren't in the format, if people would still be playing this as much. I don't think so. So call your local PFP representative and tell them to ban the initiative. Thank you. Thank you for listening and coming to my TED Talk. Okay, so we preordain, we find Moldritch or Snap. None of these can help us. So we have to bottom both. We need lands. But we can cast Meeting the Minds at the moment. Oh, my ephemerate. They're going to play out a land destruction spell. No. 4 mana? Yes, they are going to. Land destruction. Well, good for you. They have a full foil Ponza deck. Wow. No foil Jewel Thief? Seems like a leak. Yeah, come on. No foil Wild Growth? Opponent. Seriously. I have nothing to say other than just trash talk because I have nothing to do. Because I don't have lands. Play an Elvish Visionary. Good for you. Okay, draw a card. Go to 49. Cards in the library, 3 cards in hand. They get to Utopia Sprawl. Chooses red. Does the attack thing. We block. Alright, we do nothing once again. They have chosen wisely in eating our island. We got to mulligan to 5 and then get our lands killed. That's pretty sweet. They're going to play a boarding party, and I'm just going to go to the next game. Hope that we draw a little bit better this turn, this time. Excludes, negates, and get rid of this cleric, I think, probably. Get rid of the faithful and a cleric. I wonder if a snap is worth cutting. 1 cleric. Pass the turn. Or we're just going to keep it that way. There's no turn passing. We're just trying to live. But, you know, I wanted a fast match, and this may be a fast match. Game 2. Can we open a 7? Looks like it. Keep. We don't have very much going on, so we're pretty hosed if they have a turn 2 land destruction. But we have our Faithful into Preordain, and we only kept 2 Faithfuls in. Broker's Hideout gets us a Plains. Opponent plays a Foil Forest and an Arbor Elf. So we can set them back by a large amount by snapping their Arbor Elf, untapping, and playing Faithful into Preordain. Find a Chancery and a Fairy Seer. That's not great. Okay, bottom the Fairy Seer. It's not doing almost anything. How can I deal? They're going to play the Arbor Elf again. I think I have to bottom that land. Unfortunate. Find a Preordain. Okay. The Arbor Elf into a Utopia Sprawl. So we're looking for an untapped island. We find it, which means we get to Preordain and gain a life. We find Familiar and Island, so let's top both of these and pass the turn. If we can keep our planes alive, that'll be great. If they initiative this turn, I will be sad. We're going to Sprawl. So Sprawl puts them to 7 mana. They already have 5 mana. I think I'm going to let that resolve. Let's see if they cast a boarding party. They do indeed. Here comes the boarding party. No, it's an Asimos. Okay, we're going to negate. Do our best. That resolves. They play a Visionary. So now I'm going to go Familiar and evoke this Drifter for some cards. Cast Meeting of Minds. Hello. Bam, bam, bam. You find an Exclude. That is kind of sweet. It kind of depends on whether or not we can maintain our situation. Plays a Jewel Thief. That does not draw them a card, just makes mana. Another Jewel Thief makes more mana. Okay. They get in for 3. Gonna cycle. Grabbing an island, cast Preordain. What do we get? Spellstutter Sprite and Archaeomancer. Don't want another Mancer. Sprite seems fine. Play land, pass the turn. So the Spellstutter Sprite can fly in to steal the initiative if they play initiative this turn. Plays a land and they're going to pass. I'm going to swing in for a lot and we're going to block 5 of it, take 4. I'm just going to... Nah, not going to flash in the Spellstutter Sprite at the moment. So let's Archaeomancer to get back the negate. Let's see if they have a Pyroblast in hand, because we could Spellstutter Sprite the Pyroblast. We'll get back the negate. So we have both avenues covered, creature and a land destruction spell. There's Llanowar Visionary, so we go for the exclude. Feels good, man. Feels good. We're gonna swing for. Oh, you don't want to attack with your your Arbor Elf? It's a surprise. Kind of surprised there. Not really. Muldrifter on top. Sure. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna play out the Archaeomancer, getting back the exclude. We could start trying to go for the Meaning of Minds. Maybe that's a better idea. Muldrifter is on top. They sprawl, so we get finally value out of our Spellstutter Sprite. Hiya! They attack, and we block. So we're gonna pick up, be able to play Muldrifter here. So let's cycle for Island. We could also get a Plains right now. I think it's better to have the Island. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slam a Drifter. Draw some cards. Okay. Attack. Now we're looking for a Flicker. We have another Ash Barrens to get a Plains if we need. We're going to Acid Moss my Plains. That's not very nice. Negate. Cycle. Grab a Plains. Get in, and we block. Okay, we have Ephemerate now. Let's Fairy Seer to see what's on top of the deck. Are they going to scoop? Seems like the right position. Okay, what's on top? Chancery Preordain. Guess we can top the Preordain. Let's swing for 3. We will cast this Drifter. So we get the Preordain and a Familiar. Alright, let's pass. We can Ephemerate for a negate for a land destruction spell. We can also Ephemerate the Spellstutter Sprite to counter a 2-drop. We win the game. I'm so salty about Ponza, and I somehow am winning a little bit. Let's do it again. Okay, what I'm going to do is attempt to use the Fairy Seer to find my next land. They mulligan to 5. Oh boy. So you're saying there's a chance. We have to go Fairy Seer and see some lands. Such a huge risk here. Land Arbor Elf. Okay, land pass. The Utopia Sprawl. On red, they're going to untap their land. Plays an Acid Moss, so we will cycle for an island. So if they have initiative in hand, we're going to be really sad. We play a Fairy Seer. Looking for lands. Bottom, bottom. That's the turn. If we find an untapped land, we can snap their Sprite and then... not snap their Arbor Elf and then nab it with the Spellstutter Sprite. They get in for 1. We're not going to block. Send. We're all just going to stare at each other for a little while. They play a land and pass the turn. Attacking for 3. We swing out. Muldrifter goes to the graveyard. They do nothing. We have a lot of cards in hand. We are going to attack. Get rid of this Ephemerate. That's the turn. They rip a wild growth off the top. Power play. Preordain is good. So negate and a chancery, huh? Top. Play this. Yield. We're gonna pick up this. We're gonna attack. I think I'm going to get rid of the single snap. I'm gonna get rid of the Mole Drifter. If they rip a land destruction spell, we're dead, though. If they don't, it could be okay. They attack for 3. My turn. Land. Attack you. I'm gonna pass. We'll see what they do. They don't do anything. They attack. I'm going to snap this Llanowar. Flash in the Spellstutter Sprite. Take the 1. They have a Scred. I'll snap the Spellstutter Sprite. Untap, untap. They get in for 1. They play their Llanowar, which we exclude. We have to play the Chancery, picking up this. Just going to attack. I guess the worst for us would be if they rip a boarding party right now. Oh god. They rip the boarding party. And they reveal Thermokarst. So we just die. That sucks. Maybe not. Alright, fine. Shouldn't have attacked. I could have just jumped with my Fairy Seer. Sad. Play Avenging Hunter. Okay. I'm going to scoop it up. It hasn't been fun. It's been real, but it hasn't been fun. We'll see you in the next round. Round 5, the final countdown. Let's see if we're versus Burn again, or Ponza again. We're going to keep this hand. We have a decent start here with Land Fairy Seer. And then we can play our bounce land. I'll keep both of these. Preordain into Medium Minds is pretty sweet. Gives us a turn 2 play where we play our Chancery. They are on Affinity or Gardens. I'm going to assume it's Gardens. We're going to Preordain. Don't need this other land, I think. I'll keep the Medium Minds and play the Chancery. Picking up this and swinging out. Yeah. So now what do I do next turn? Oop, it's Affinity. Okay, Thoughtcast. So Spellstutter Sprite can be pretty good now. Land. Let's Preordain. Mancer and Snap. Cool. Attack. 2 mana. They're gonna Deadly Dispute. See if they Deadly Dispute or Reckoner's Bargain or something. Plays a Mere Enforcer. Okay. Not great. 2 mana. Plays a Gearseeker Serpent. Okay. So we're gonna let that resolve. It's the turn. Chancery, pick this up. Snap the Gearseeker. Untap. Get a bunch of mana. We can cast Dominator Cleric or Meaning of Minds or Mole Drifter. We could just play out a Mole Drifter and bash him. Attack. Pretty nice to get their Gearseeker off the table, that's for sure. They may Deadly Dispute here. They play a Wellspring. A bunch of Meaning of Minds. Plays a Nile Spellbomb. Yeah, having Spellstutter Sprite for that would have been nice. Land. Let's Preordain. We find Ephemerate and Familiar, so I want the Familiar. Can play that. Then I can attack for 3. Or I can just cast Meaning Minds. Let's cast Meaning Minds, draw some cards, and hold up our good cards. Now, they don't currently have a, what's it say? Metallic Rebuke. They didn't have Metallic Rebuke last turn, but they have Metallic Rebuke up right now. They're going to cast a Gear Seeker. Okay. That's fine, I think. So we're going to be able to get the snap back if we want, maybe. Land. Play Archaeomancer, trying to get back snap. So our opponent made a mistake here. They should have cracked this on the with Archaeomancer on the stack. They did not play around Ephemerate in hand. And they don't care. Interesting. Never cared. Snap this. Tap on tap. Let's cast a Dawnbringer Cleric, I guess. Guess we can just evoke this Muldrifter. Cast Meeting of Minds. Draw some cards. Draw into Spellstutter Sprite. I don't have a land for turn. So I can now Ephemerate the Archaeomancer trying to get back snap. They're going to give it to me. Interesting. Interesting. Or are they going to crack it? They don't crack it. Play the Familiar. We snap their Mirror Enforcer. And we're going to attack. Yeah, 3. Now we have an Air Force coming in. I don't even remember what happened with that Muldrifter. It's all good. I'm very surprised at the no spell bomb. They just wanted to use their blood token, huh? But they can still crack the spell bomb. It doesn't have to be for value. It doesn't have to be for value, my friend. Deadly Dispute gets spell-stuttered. Come on, I'm ready for the Deadly Dispute. Taste. Tasty Spellstutter Sprite. Alright, 1 down. Now I can cycle for an island. Use my mana and draw a card. Or get my island in hand, not draw a card. I thought the turn was over. Okay, they play a Gear Seeker. So we could flash in another Spellstutter Sprite and attack for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5. Okay. I think my plan is to Ephemerate the Muldrifter. If I Ephemerate the Archaeomancer, it's just going away. Let's draw. Alright. Let's play Fairy Seer. See what's on top. Snap, so bottom this, top the snap. We're gonna swing out. Take 4. Bam. Bam it. Oh no, 2. Whoops, forgot Muldrifter had been used. Play a Meeting of Minds. Draw some cards. Draw Snap. I think the best play is to just snap and replay my own Muldrifter. Even though I want to snap and snap their Gear Seeker. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I mean, they get rid of these cards, that's true. It's kind of a weird spot to use this now Spellbomb. 3 Meeting of Minds are down. So we untap. Cast a Drifter. Draw some cards. Fairy Seer. See what's on top. Faithful and a Familiar. Don't need this. Faithful might be good. Let's preordain. Mortuary Mire. Okay, I'll keep that and the Faithful. Play the Faithful. Play an island. And pass. So now we can block with the Muldrifter, or we can, I don't know. There's a Wellspring, counter. Let's get more creatures on the table. It feels pretty good to just counter the crud out of everything. Pretty nice. They're going to swing. We have Mortuary Mire on top, so block with Drifter. Next turn they will be able to make their thing unblockable. That's another Gear Seeker Serpent. Alright. We're going to Mortuary Mire back the Muldrifter. Just going to gain 2 life with this Dawnbringer Cleric. And attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go to 7. We're currently at 11, so we have to block at least 1, 5, 5. And that'll put us, that's 9 damage, putting us to a very small amount of life. We'll block. Take 9. They only have 1 red mana available. We go to 2. We're going to Kenku, huh? Alright. Dead to a Galblast. They only have 2 cards in hand. They do have it. Okay, that's my fault. Let's see what we would have drawn. Nothing. Flicker on top. We would have drawn this, play it too. Oh, bummer. That's okay. We were dead regardless because they could have made their thing unblockable. Probably made some mistakes there. Let's get rid of Cleric, this. So we want all of our anti-affinity stuff. Get rid of one of these, and 1 Flicker. Submit. Let's see if we can dust them out. Probably should just have not. I should have left a creature back to block for chumping, so I didn't have to use the Mole Drifter necessarily. Then I could have blocked. I could have blocked for the Archaeomancer, had that, and then gone Flamemancer, snap, replayed a couple of times for life. I'll have to think about that. Okay, we are the Ponza deck. Seems fine. Keep land, pass the turn. I'm not playing the Faemiliars because the only thing I want to do is kill their land. They play a land which we are going to destroy or exile forever. Turn on my auto yields, and we will get rid of your land. Sorry? Not sorry. Who's the Ponza deck now? Okay, we play Faemiliars, looking for a Dust to Dust. What do we find? Meaning of Minds, Mortuary Mire. I'm going to bottom, and do I want the Meaning of Minds? Next turn, I'm going to keep it, play the Chancery, pass the turn, picking up this. Not that it matters. We play Blood Fountain. So if they have an untapped island, it could be in a bad spot, or untapped blue source. But they, okay, so plan is to drift our Ephemerate here. Draw a bunch of cards. No dusts. Still no dusts. We got rid of one of their lands, but now we're just chilling and not actually accomplishing very much. They play a land. Tap for blue for a Gear Seeker. Okay. Well, we left our snaps in. So snaps and dust to dusts are good at this point. There's a dust to dust. See if I can find a snap off a preordained. Find a familiar. Bottom, top the familiar. Let's go ahead and get rid of their mana. And then I'm gonna just, we bottomed a land, right? So maybe it's better to just not, and just play out this land. Pass and attack for 1. Get rid of the fetch land. It's important to get rid of one of their colors of mana, so all of their lands were tapping for blue, so I got rid of their red source. Now they play another red source. They get in for 5. Remember, we have no life gain now, so we can't really let this beat us down. They play a Nile Spellbomb. Familiar. Cast Meaning of Minds. Draw. Land. Cast Meaning of Minds. Draw cards. No snaps, huh? What's preordained? There's a Dust to Dust and a Meaning, so I'll keep both of those. And pass the turn. We're going to get hit for 5. It is what it is. We can Spellstutter Sprite something. We're going to get in for 5. Puts us to 10. Now we have the Dust to Dust, the Spellbomb, and the red land. They play a Mere Enforcer. So it looks like we're going Dust on Spellbomb Enforcer. Play a Clan Shaman, which we're going to attempt to Spellstutter Sprite. They have to have Metallic Rebuke here. They don't. Sweet. We're going to draw. They Nile Spellbomb. It's interesting that they Spellbombed right now. Cast Meaning of Minds. Draw some cards. Multiple Dust to Dusts. Gonna preordain. Give her a snap. I'm gonna bottom the Spellstutter Sprite, I think. Maybe not. Top. Get rid of your red and your Mirror Enforcer. Maybe it's time to just start thinning the deck. Yeah, let's do that. We're all over the place with the preordains and the scrying and everything, but it's fine. Send. Planning on blocking the Gear Seeker with my Fairy Seer. They have a Thoughtcast. Can't do anything about that. They get in. I block. Yep. That guy's down. Cycle for an island. Draw a card. We're going to Dust. They're going to use their blood token. Interesting. Let's hardcast a Moldrifter. We draw an Archaeomancer. Play land. Let's swing out. Then we can block and flicker. Draw 4. Then we just Archaeomancer flicker lock them with the Spellstutter Sprites. Play a land. Okay. Maybe I don't flicker because I want to Archaeomancer for the Dust and then have my flicker online. Mancer. Grab the Dust to Dust. Then always yield to this. Get rid of your artifacts. Swing. And we win the game. We didn't even have to show them the flicker. Submit. Let's do it again. Okay, so we've opened up Dust with Familiar Meeting. I'm keeping. The nice thing is that if this Familiar resolves, we can snap something and untap the white source to cast Dust. Here comes a Plains. Our opponent had played a bridge on turn 1, a blue-red bridge. They're going to play a Krark and pass. I'm going to snap. This is interesting. I guess I'm going to preordain. Find another preordain and a snap. Bottom the second preordain, top the snap, pass the turn. They play a land. Gets in for 1. Okay. So land, play Sunscape Familiar. Passing the turn. Taking it slow here. Holding up Spellstutter Sprite. Cast a Thoughtcast. Okay. Easy Sprite on the Blood Fountain. Now we can snap our Spellstutter Sprite as well, like to get them deadzo. But I think what we're just going to do is try to snap this Shaman. See if that'll resolve. What are they going to do? Sacrifice the land? No. They're not. Get rid of your lands. Play this. Cast Medium Minds. Drawing some cards. Find another Dust. Okay, that should be the game, I guess. But, you know, they could always recover. Blood Fountain. We snap this. And replay it. Cycle for Plains. Draw a card. Cycle for an island. Play that. Pass the turn. Swinging for 1. It's funny how land destruction is my worst matchup and their worst matchup. Preordain. Okay, find a Medium Minds and a Familiar. I don't think we need the Familiar right now. So we'll take the Medium Minds. I can just cast it off of my creatures. Trying to have some extra mana. Let's Fairy Seer. Muldrifter's good. So bottom, top the Muldrifter, play a land, and pass. We're just waiting for them to find another land. We play another Krark. Sure. We're gonna get in for one. Now it's a race. The race is on. We're gonna Drifter. And then I guess we could flicker the Drifter right now and the Fairy Seer. Okay, let's just flicker Drifter, Fairy Seer. Put the Scry on top. So we get Fairy Seer and a Revoke. I guess I want both. Maybe I don't need the Revoke though. Bottom, top the Fairy Seer. Yeah, I did not need the Revoke. Alright, play a Fairy Seer. Find a Muldrifter and a Sprite. So the Sprite, I think it's fine. We'll just keep all this stuff. We have a plethora of plethora. And we don't have to do anything. Now we can just block their stuff. Mortuary and right back if we want. Okay. No attacks for the opponent. We're going to cast a Drifter. We have Spellstutter Sprite for Pyro. So there you go. Sprite your Pyro. Draw some cards. Attack with everything. And then I guess we play a land. Yep, okay. Land. And pass. We can Meeting Minds end step. Spellstutter Sprite 2. And we just have such a good clock here. Alright, there's your second land. Thank you. Thank you for playing a land that I can kill. I feel so bad. Weirdly, I have no remorse for Affinity. Like, I'm not concerned about blowing up their lands. Kill your stuff. I get really mad about playing against land destruction. We get the 4-1. So, I get really mad about playing against land destruction, but I don't get mad about land destructioning people. It's a weird dichotomy, but, you know, whatever. So, thanks for Ritual Hippie for supplying the initiative to play the Faemiliars Fairies nonsense. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you in the next video. Let me know what you thought of the deck, and hopefully I'll see you around. Have a good one. See you in the next video.